So now I find myself somewhere in the back hills of Kentucky, and well, we're going to try some underground kayaking. So somewhere up here we go into an old mine and we drop down in, and it's flooded, and well, apparently it's lit, and we're going to find out what this is all about. So here we go. Let's check this out. Well, this is the cave entrance here. So I'm not sure what I'm in for, but it looks pretty cool. And we're going to go down inside that cave, and somewhere it kind of sets into the water, and it's going to take us into the hillsides here. And we're going to find out what it's like to go kayaking underground here in Kentucky. I'm excited. I want to see what this is all about. Hopefully I don't drop the GoPro. So if I do, sorry, you won't see the rest of this. You won't see this. But if I don't, we'll see when we get down in here.
Well, the tour began as they brought us inside the first part of the cave, the old mine. And you're up in the open part, and you can actually see where the tools went. And they say, no stupid people allowed, and they mean it. So you got to kind of listen to their guidance. They tell you what to do, what not to do. They give you a quick safety briefing, and then you start your descent down into the cave. And this, I'll apologize in advance, it is so dark. You can't see your hand in front of your face at points. Now, each one of our helmets had a light on it. And your lights, you can see they're kind of beaming in and out of the cave. As you're walking down, we're getting a little deeper and deeper into the cave. You go past a couple of pools of water, and that light you see way back in the distance is actually the lights near a dock where we're going to all load in. Now, the walkway is very thin. If you're not looking, you're going to be walking through water. And as you can see, there's puddles and such that we have to step over. And it's pretty darn eerie down here. There's pallets and a few blocks where you can step up on and walk across some of the wetter spaces. But we're anticipating what's coming next, which is these kayaks. There's a couple of flamingos that are there just to greet you. But as you can see, the water's relatively clear. And you're walking through, and it kind of makes you wonder why the water is lapping up, why there's even any type of movement or current. But it's a long walk to get back into this cave. You've got to get all the way back into here before you can actually start to get into your kayak.
That's the cave. Some paddles. Go back, grab a canoe, kayak, and get in the water. So here's what happens. It's kind of dark in here, but I don't know if you can see this or not, but we go barefoot to get into these things. And so once we get in, we put some socks on, and this is the bottom of the kayak. There you can see the kayaks. They're colorful.
And here I'm going to kind of narrate over top of this because there's a lot going on in the cave, but it's hard to see once we get back in there. Now, keep in mind, the water temperature is barely 40 degrees, so it's very cold. And these kayaks are glass bottom. So when I show you my feet there, and I show you that blue bottom, that's a light shining down into the water. So that's how it looks when you're getting in. You're just looking down into the water beneath you, which is kind of eerie in itself. I'm not a big fan of fish, but they're swimming beneath you and they're swimming around. So, and as you notice, here's a couple tips for you. I've got my phone with me, so I kept it close to me. There's a zipper pouch on the life vest I was wearing. So I suggest you could take it back with you, but be careful. You drop it in, it's gone. Now, the water we're in here, you can see it's pretty murky. But there was just a major flood in all of Kentucky. But there's still an 8 to 10 foot depth to what you can see. It's up above that's really eerie because it's pitch dark. Occasionally they have a light or two in the water, so that's where you'll see a lot of the fish, and they do come right up to your kayak. So I kind of looked around as much as I could, let my eyes adjust, but it's pretty cool. This is underwater. This is what it looks like, and I went ahead and left the audio on because you can hear. You still hear the people talking above the water, which is really cool. There's the fish you'll see. If you look real close there, you can see them. Now, the it looks kind of murky because the flood, the water was all churned up, and there's not much we can do about that. But the fish were real docile. They just kind of sat there, and I think there was a little bit more curiosity. Maybe they thought I was going to feed them or something. But on a regular tour, you could see 30, 40 feet through this water without any problems at all. Now these fish are just kind of nosing right up to the side of the kayaks, and then when you come up above the surface, you can see that they're right there. They're large too. That's not just some little thing. He's I don't know. He's a couple feet long, and there you can see that light there is one that's under the surface that they have mounted down towards the bottom, and so that gives you a glow instinct when you're coming through there. All the lights in the canoes, you can choose your own colors. We chose blue, and I think about everybody did. But there you can see the fish right on the surface there, and they're just kind of meandering around. So it's kind of creepy. There's bats above you. There's fish below you. It's a different experience altogether. It's not like kayaking out in the hot sun or the cold wind or in a river with a current. You're literally on this smooth glass surface. And I can tell you, bring a couple extra pairs of socks. I'm going to tell you that now. Here comes another fish right at us. And again, I think they were more curious than anything. Apparently, maybe someone was feeding them before. But as I was saying, this water temperature is 40 degrees. And it, in the summertime, might get a little bit warmer than that. But the air temperature is always going to be 52 degrees down there, somewhere around there. And as you can see how dark it is above the surface, there's the glass bottom to the boat. And you're in direct contact with that 40-degree water. So you get real cool real fast. Now this tour was every bit of 45 minutes, probably closer to an hour it felt like. And at one point in time, he said, we're halfway, and I know my feet were pretty cold. But as I mentioned in his video here, that I was lifting the GoPro up and down out of the water, so I was dripping water inside the kayak, and my socks were wet. The surface of the kayak is wet. You're sitting in a small seat, so I would suggest that you bring a towel that you can sit on. Certainly an extra pair of socks. If you've got neoprene, bring that, because that would be a saver for this. And if you're like me, I don't necessarily care to sit with my legs straight out for a long time, but it is something that as you're looking here, you can see the roof gets closer down to you. It's not so high up at this point. This was the one and only time that I felt a little bit claustrophobic, because it did feel like the ceiling was coming in tighter. But all in all, what a tremendous experience. If you're in the area, you gotta try it. Again, this is underwater. I'll bring the camera back up here in just a second, but this was just to show the bottom side of the boat. And you're seeing, I'm sorry, it's a kayak, let me correct that. And that's all that's being seen underneath the water. That little bit of haze is from the flood that was in here, and the water's churned up a bit, but still pretty darn cool when you look at this. I was hoping some more fish would scoot by, but we were in an area where there wasn't a whole bunch of fish coming in and out. But once you get in there on a clear water night, you're going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot. And the fish are around. And if you can see here, the rocks are, it looks like cliff walls. And the cliff walls drop down into where the old mine was. And the light that we're riding over right here, that's my wife's feet up in the front, that's mine in the back. There's nothing separating you from the cold water but that thin sheet of the glass kayak. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. And in some ways, it's just, it's mesmerizing to see this. And I like it. I think it's a good trip, and if you get a chance, you should really try it.
This is the last part of the cave, and they have told us to start moving our legs around because, well, this is the bottom of the kayak, and these are our feet, and we're in socks. You can go bare feet if you want, but we have to do socks. And I think I got to help my wife paddle because she's Jody, my piloting extravaganza. And we come back to where we started from, which is the docks, and we'll unload up here. So we're in the cave here, And that's what we just did. So we're getting out now where you roll out of the kayak, get out here and your socks are soaked. Indication that you may want to bring a couple pairs of socks because it gets cold, but wear some thick neoprene socks, you'd be better off. Anyway, some really cool stuff.
And after you get your shoes on, you can maybe over there and ride.
All right, so just coming out of the kayak tour, and we're walking on some strange decking areas here. So just to try to get some light, this is we're underground here, about 200 feet down underground, and we're all getting ready to head back up and celebrate with some Kentucky refreshments. So anyway, I hope the video did it justice. I don't know that you can see anything that was in there, but we had a great time. It's something I would highly recommend, and it's not like you're claustrophobic. If you look, it's a pretty large cave, but it is it's quite adventurous. So we had a great time doing it, and I hope you get a chance to do it as well. This is the hillside. The sun is setting here, and we are at the deluxe tour entrance for the kayaking, and I'm going to tell you it was pretty cool. So of all the things you can do when you're in Kentucky, I never would have thought that you could go kayaking underground in a cave. Now this is an old mine, and there's a lot of information. I'll leave the link in the comments or in the description below, just so you can kind of check it out. It's a worthwhile journey. It's there's a lot to do in Kentucky, of course, during the Bourbon Trail and a few other things, but outside of the horses, the cows, everything you can see down here in Kentucky, this is one of the coolest things that I've done. Now, I know they also have some four-wheel drive tours and things around here and all kinds of stuff, but this underground kayaking, it's not an exertion of anything, so you don't have to worry about it. You're not going to wear yourself out and go crazy, but it is fun, and it's a gentle ride. They help you in and out of the kayak, so you never really get wet. Now your feet will get wet because water from your oars, and like me, I was dipping the GoPro in the water and I'd bring it back into the kayak and it would leave a little bit of water in there, but otherwise I'm bone dry after walking out of there. It's maybe, I would say, 45, 50 degrees out here, and I'm feeling good because I'm not cold, and my socks are wet, but that's about it. But there's a lot to see and do here in Kentucky, and like I said, this is one of the coolest. The underground kayaking. I don't like closed places. I'm claustrophobic, and I did not feel trapped in there. So if you get a chance, check it out. Check out the link. And there'll be a few other things that I'll be talking about while we're down here in Kentucky. But as far as the kayaking tour, it's a cool thing to do. So give it a try. So this is Ohio Jimbo. And until next time, if I don't see you out there, I'll see you in here.